Have you ever seen this Globe Trekker?
No.
I don't know. It's one of the hazards of being in a media household. JK is a marketing person, so she monitors lots of channels. So we have way over our budget on TV watching. I'm trying to scale back. But they have this great effect where the presenter is taking you through a country, backpacks, that sort of thing. But the presenter is obviously carrying a little handheld, and it goes back and forth. And the viewer wants this sort of, ooh, this is shot from the road. It's bouncy.
Yeah.
It's not totally in focus. It's got this intimacy, and that's what I'm getting here. It's like, where's the tie? Where's the the makeup? Oh my goodness! It doesn't matter because you've got this light coming out of you. It's great.
You know, one of the things I thought about is, have you read any Malcolm Gladwell stuff?
Sure.
You know how he talks about how
Tipping point.
Yeah, you know, he
outliers.
Outliers. Right?
Unfortunately, you're an outlier.
Yeah, but in Outliers, he talks about how all the hockey players are all born in January, February, March. You hear about that?
Right, because they're just marginally
better.
6 months growth on
in that first
the guys.
grade. Yeah, in kindergarten, first grade, and that makes a
they
difference.
get selected.
They get selected. They go into the Canadian club scene. So he uses this example where he narrates a college university hockey finals, and he says January passes to February, passes to March, passes to January, passes to February, passes to August. Hell, what the hell? Where did August come from? And I haven't quite figured it out, but I'm thinking, gratitude talks to sincerity, talks to, how do you almost have a bubble of values over people's heads, and you see that interaction. That's sort of the app thing that I'm thinking about is, what's happening right now, not in actions but in themes and in
Well, this is with the Facebook thing. If each word has its own Facebook, people who are liking empathy are going to start talking to each other, and they'll get clicks, and then gratitude will just happen to be a friend of empathy and say, what did you just click on?
Oh, that's a good idea.
And they'll come over and they'll I'll like it too.
Yes.
I like empathy too. And
Yes.
then they start reading some of the comments, because one of the nice things about status is, I would assume the app would do this, it would automatically have you, if you logged in with your Facebook, it automatically likes and then posts whatever you've written.
Yes.
Whatever you've taken a picture of is suddenly in the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So now other people are liking it.
Yeah.
Because, hey, my friend just posted, what is this? 50 words empathy? What is this? But he's got this picture, so I better like it.
Yeah. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
It's something I've seen that a guy named Bob Finch, who's an outlier, in a sense, what you're very good at, I'm sure, is you help people go one step beyond being the outlier, the one person in their institution. And you either give them the vocabulary and the tools and the support to be able to stand up and take that boardroom and say, I'm proposing this, or you can kick me out. And it's the giraffe moment where you're either going to lose it, you're going to have your neck chopped, or they're going to say, come to the front of the class and lead us, because you obviously got something.
Well, that's what I like about my job. I'm an executive coach now, right? So I gave my CEO job up.
Okay.
I'm spending all my time on executive coaching and sort of C-level advising, and the other half of my time is with social entrepreneurship, which means I'm also a coach, right? I'm coaching, Vera in Brazil, who's starting a company around, incredibly innovative holistic healthcare model, and but basically I'm a coach, and as a coach, I talk about these things. Coaching executives is not about, it's how to become a better leader, and all the tools that you need to be a better leader. This is part of that toolkit, right? Understanding what the world is going to be like, what the kids that are coming into businesses today are expecting. You know, they say a kid coming out of college will have 5 to 6 jobs by the time they're 38. So what's making them tick?
Right.
You know, it's what kind of company am I working for? What does it stand for? Is it helping me grow?
I'm going to walk if I'm not.
Yeah.
I can go work for Holste. You've seen Holste Manifesto?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, that's what's walking around there.
Yeah.
The potential, anyway.
Exactly. And that's kids coming out. You know, if we're right about becoming a world of change makers and that we're going to become more empathetic, then we better, as business people, recognize that and foster that and nurture that, right? So when I'm coaching people, you know, I don't bring it up. Executives bring it up. Like, you know, how do I deal with people? How do I deal with cultures? You know, how do I become more effective? You know, how's talent management changing in business? You know, how do we foster growth in our employees? How do we hire the right people? And to me, what we do in this generation of kids to arm them for the world they're going to live in is make or break. It is make or break.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we don't have the sustainability left.
No. The rules have changed. The new rules haven't been made yet. You know, Bill Drayton from Ashoka says the new rules haven't been made yet. We're back for the first time in 300 years we are having to feel comfortable coming into a world where the rules haven't yet quite been defined, but we know they're not the rules that have gotten us here. And that's what this concept of being a change maker is. And to be a change maker, the underlying root is that we have to be a lot more empathetic about the world we live in and the change that we can make. So this is just a small piece, but I'm excited about the curriculum. I'm excited. I like a long time ago I put a Facebook page together when it was called 100 Words. But now it's time to really do this. But to me, it's less about this. It's all about I like the idea of 100 kids in 100 schools spending time talking
to each other
about
Get the
what
teachers
matters.
out of the way.
About what
this
matters.
becomes the curriculum.
Yeah.
Can you read just that quote up there?
1/3 of the jobs that will be around 10 to 15 years from now haven't been invented yet. We are now at a point where we must educate our children at what no one knew yesterday and prepare our schools for what no one knows yet. That's right.
Margaret Mead.
Yeah, also almost 20 to 25% of what technical college students learn will be obsolete by the time they graduate.
So they have to learn how to relearn.
Yeah.
By the time they graduate, they're walking into their first job.
In the technical skills. So the science, if you're studying engineering or science or biophysics, those kinds of things, when you're walking into college, what you're learning has already been eclipsed 4 or 5 years later. That's how fast the pace of change is, right?
And so businesses that are hiring people thinking, well, we're going to take a new guy because he knows the new stuff.
Yeah.
They're already behind the 8 ball if they don't have a retraining program
That's right.
on staff.
But on the flip side, let me hire people that know the new stuff and embrace it.
Right.
Don't tell a 24-year-old coming into your company that they can't go on Facebook at the office,
Apparently that's how business meetings are set up now.
Yes, they are set up that way. Yeah, they are.
We got this new product. Anybody want to have a beta? I'm looking for some beta testing here.
Where do I get my best reading? From Twitter.
Someone says new article.
Yeah, Harvard Business Review posts something. I look at it. I like it. I read it. If I don't, off it goes.
Right.
And what do? I forwarded it to 10 people in my company, and 3 of them read it, and they forward it. Talk about dissemination of ideas and just bringing new stuff to the table. And I write a blog, for my business, and the blog is about leadership, and it goes out every day. But it is probably 20% this soft stuff. It's not just strategy and business and leadership. It's about empathy. It's about value-driven things. It's about shared value, a lot of shared value stuff, because people want to know about it. I was in Montana talking I belong to an organization called YPO, Young Presidents Organization. It's a global network of CEOs. And the YPO chapter in Montana asked me to come talk to them about an event that I had done here in my chapter, which was about Ashoka at social entrepreneurship. And there are 20 of them. And we give I gave a presentation. I brought a social entrepreneur. We brought Ashoka. And, they were interested in a lot of questions. And then I started talking about shared value. I gave the example of the school in Balikpapan. You would not believe the interest that came out of it. Seasoned CEOs saying, you finally showed me how in my little business there is a way to create social impact. Because we can get it when a Nestle does it, or when a Branson does it, or the 3M mosquito netting makes sense. But if I'm a residential real estate developer in Montana, how do I create shared value? Well, I talked to him, and it turns out that he actually has a whole sustainability thing that he differentiates himself on. That the homes he builds are sustainable and energy efficient. So there's one angle that he can play.
Sure.
The other one is if he can find like this Academy of Agents of Change, where he can say, when I build a house, part of my proceeds contribute to funding a young adult who's creating a socially changing idea.
Right.
Then I can link that way. And so, again, it's just all about getting the conversation going. And this year, my friend Eduardo and I were going to speak. Our plan is to speak to 5 of these YPO chapters and to talk to 3 universities, business schools, and not the business school on social entrepreneurship. I'm hoping they've already got it. I want to go to the real business school guys that
doesn't have any of
right.
This stuff.
And talk and just have a round table about leadership. And I think I got about 5 years before I'm too old and I can't relate to these people anymore, right? But now I can. I've been a CEO for 15 years.
You still ski, I guess?
I still ski, yeah.
So that's
of
good.
Course,
all right.
So that's part of the mission too, is to get the conversation going. And I know 10% of this, right? So when I'm having roundtables with CEOs and I'm having roundtables with grad students, I'm learning. It's a very selfish exercise, really. Getting the conversation going, because I become a better person with that conversation, right? Hopefully can pass that on. So anyway, it's fun stuff.
What is your